What's up, guys? Welcome to another Monday night, and tonight we have a very special guest with us, which we will get to in just a second. First, I want to do some quick housekeeping. Want to thank Dean over at The Live Place, www.theliveplace.com, and oops, I got to turn it off my own volume. There we go. www.theliveplace.com. Also with Dreamers Empire and The Live Place on YouTube. Also, my partner channels. First, you got Mouse Talk, goes live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock. Goes live on Saturdays at 8 o'clock with me with Sports Night. And Rob Fuzz, who goes live either at 4 or 4:30 with Pub Talk or Frankie Friday, depending on which week it is. Please go check them both out. And my power channels, my brothers, the DizneyDan crew. We have the Shep family, Zippity Doodad, and Brandy and Dave. And as well as we go live together with DizneyDan on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. And my other power channel, DizneyDan, goes live Fridays or Saturdays at 7 o'clock. I'm all over the place tonight. Sorry. Saturdays at 7 o'clock with Disney Fiasco. So real quick, want to welcome in everybody. We have Mike Wheeler, 2Gs, Walter Graham, Stevie Lee, Tracy G, Alex Dances with Goofy, Paper, Scissors, and Vacations, Oh My, Donna Anderson Fullen, Mary Murray, Russ Stapleton, Tracy G, Alex. I think I said you, but that's okay. Oops, it just jumped really long. Hang on one second. We have Myers and the Mouse, Noah the Disney World Fan 16, Pam's Fam, Little Darling 715, Rob Fuzz, what's up, buddy? Karen Cook, Lady Jamers, Paul McDonald, Alex Bruner, Miguel Benitez Jr., what's up, buddy? Michael Riley, Brandy and Dave, welcome in. Just keeps jumping. Walter Graham's, Gary B. It's easier to go up. I'm just going to start going up from now on and then just jump to the very bottom again. Shoreman, welcome in. Stevie Lee, Christine Hickman, Captain Akron 7. Just jumped again. Captain Akron 27, Dreamer Deborah. T Mary Ellen, how are you? T-Town Mary Ellen, sorry. I think I got everybody, guys. If I missed you, please repost and I will get to you. But I want to get right to my special guest. We're doing another Getting to Know You episode tonight. And tonight we are getting to know Ben from Pepper Tree Villa. Ben, welcome in, buddy.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for saying yes. It was a pleasure to make sure you get here. So basically the way this works, we just have a little conversation, just me and you. Chat, please don't be offended if I missed some of your comments. I'm going to focus obviously on Ben tonight, and I will try to get you. If you guys have questions, welcome in, Kay. If you guys do have questions at the end, post them and we'll get to them, and we'll get them for Ben. So Ben, let's start off with just tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever, as little or as much as you want us to know, from baby to now, if you want. So,
well, let's see. Last Thursday, I posted an interview on my vlog of me interviewing myself, and I got a few questions answered there. But for those of you who didn't see it, my vlog is Life with Ben. Posts every Thursday morning on Pepper Tree Villa at 10 a.m. East, 7 p.m. Pacific. And last week I interviewed myself, and I was talking to me about being a Bay Area native. That actually says a lot about someone who lives here in Northern California. Most people have relocated from other parts of the country and the world to live in Northern California. The Bay Area is a fairly desirable place to live. We've got great weather and all that, but I came about this place by default because my family was here when I was born. And if I had to choose to live here out of every other place, based on the weather alone, I'd want to live here, because unlike Florida, which has like oppressive humidity, and Winnipeg that might be freezing cold, California, particularly Northern California, has one of the most average climates you could ever dream about. We have microclimates, actually. There's San Francisco could be 56 in the summer for a high, and it could be 40 degrees warmer in the inland if you wanted to go 40 minutes east. But California, Northern California in particular, beautiful, beautiful weather. Long story short, I'm a Bay Area native. I'm going to run out of time here.
No, you're fine, man. Whatever you want to talk about.
I'm an identical twin. Arnie and I were born. Arnie came first, which is why his name starts with A. Mine starts with B. When we were born, it was before any type of sonograms were available. So when I came out second, even the doctor was surprised. So there's that. It's really weird because when you think about the advancements in science that have happened over the last 50 years, it just seems natural that you would already know that there are twins, but they had no idea that my mom was carrying twins.
Wow.
The weirdest thing.
Yeah,
But,
it seems so common today that you would know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even now, you know the sex of the baby before they're born, but back then we were a complete surprise.
Sorry, I got a cricket walking across my floor and it's driving me nuts. Anyways, real quick, I do have, and I can't. It's from Anonymous. I did get a $10 PayPal from Anonymous, which we'll go into later, but I'm not allowed to say. All I can say is thank you very much, and I completely understand. There's a note, but I can't read it. So, but I did want to acknowledge it. So, real quick, we welcome in RDFPV, Jim with More Sunshine, please. Shep, of course, with the Shep family, Phantasmic Chronicles, Cricket Fox. So guys, if I missed you, I apologize. But thank you guys for being here. Yeah, so that's quite the interesting story. When back then, I guess it's just so common today that you wouldn't know that you had twins. Yeah,
I was the surprise. Arnie came out first. Like I said, they came up with baby A and baby B. They'd only selected one name for a boy if it was going to be a boy, and that was my father's name. But when they came out with came out with twins, they were kind of at a loss for words and a loss for names. They didn't want to name one Junior and another one not. So
yeah,
we wound up with Arnold and Benjamin, and then we got my father's name, which is our middle name. Arnie has the same middle name I do.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So do you guys have that that twin intuition at all?
I would say a little bit. There are things that we do that creep Doug the heck out. We'll be setting up, like, for instance, we're setting up trees right now in the house, and we'll usually string the lights in one room and then move the trees to different places. Well, if Doug is helping Arnie, they will do things, and Doug will need exact instructions as to what they're doing, so he'll know how to help Arnie moving things. When Arnie and I work together on stuff like that, I'll just take one end of the tree, he'll take the other end, and we'll just go, and we know what we're doing without even telling. We just go ahead and move. And Doug says, how do you guys do that? It's like,
it's just going to be there.
Yeah.
I asked Arnie earlier if you guys had any intuition, and he told me to mention shoehorn, and he said you would give me back an answer.
Yeah, that is a line from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
That's exactly what he said.
Anytime someone says the word shoehorn, Arnie and I laugh because it's a specific moment that latched to us when we were watching the show growing up. So we have little moments like that. We'll hear a word or a song, and immediately we will start quoting lines or whatever from a movie, and we'll go back and forth. It's like, it's just one of those things that if you have a built-in friend that you've known all your life, you just kind of do.
I always wondered what it'd be like to have a twin. I know my brothers and I couldn't be completely more opposite of each other. So yeah, it'd be neat to have somebody that's on that level.
Well, we have an older brother too. We have an older sister, then an older brother, and then it's us. So we're the kids of the family.
Nice.
And my older brother watches our channel on a regular basis. He doesn't subscribe, and he doesn't even chat, but he does like watching our content, which it's nice to have a fan that is in the wings, but doesn't make himself acknowledged or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Real quick, I want to welcome in Ray J and LSU Mom and Meg from Mickey's Magic. Thank you guys all for being here. So how did you guys develop into Pepper Treeville, and how did you specifically get involved with it?
I was strong-armed into this.
Oh, the old forced method.
Yeah, Arnie and Doug were they got off DirecTV several years ago and started to do a lot of things with their Apple TV. And one of the apps they downloaded was YouTube, and they started watching things, and they got hooked onto some channels, and they would follow these other channels, and they saw some of the Disney content channels that were being done, and a lot of them were done by teens and early 20-year-olds and all that. And in particular about Disneyland, Arnie and Doug were looking at each other when they would see some of these things going on and say, we could do this.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about Disneyland. We could definitely tell them. And then they would catch mistakes on some videos and going, that's not the way it worked. We should be telling, we know the history of this place. We should be sharing that with everybody. So one thing led to another, and they started posting things about cooking. And that was the original intent of the channel. They wanted to develop recipes for their Instant Pot. And one of the first videos they even posted was of them unboxing their new Instant Pot that they got from Amazon. But when Arnie told me his plans of what he and Doug wanted to do with the channel, he said, would you want to help us out? And I went, okay. And it was much less of an ask as a, hey, this is what we need you to do for the channel, and you're going to do this. So like I said, I kind of strong-armed into it. And one of those things that we talked about back Christmas last year was that he wanted me to come up with some sort of weekly series or vlog that I would do that was based around me or whatever content that I wanted to provide. And that's where Life with Ben came from.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to welcome in Kadani, Sean, and Cinderella loves Disney as well. But yeah, going into Life with Ben, actually, which I think is a fantastic series, by the way. I think you do a really good job.
I appreciate that, because I think it's one of the most boring things out there.
Oh, no. I've watched them all, every single one of them. So first off, the last one where you interviewed yourself, I thought was brilliant. I thought it was very well done. You answered a lot of questions, especially things that I was going to ask tonight. Okay. Welcome in, TR. Nair. Wow, I hope I said that right. X, thank you for being here. So, I wanted to, we're going to talk about some favorites later and your least favorites and things like that.
Sure.
But I thought it was a pretty incredible way to not only ask the questions from one location in one outfit, but answer the questions themselves. And it was just it was a pretty cool way to do things and to express some of those things for people to get to know about you. Very clever. And what gave you that idea?
Honestly, lack of any other idea that I had for that week's vlog. And then I thought, what would I want to talk about, and how can I let people know what I'm all about? I went, well, why don't you just interview yourself, dummy? So what I did was I went to work, and on my lunch break, I went out and filmed a bunch of random questions that I might ask myself or ask anyone in an interview. And then I went home that night, changed my clothes, sat here in my studio / bedroom, and answered the questions that I had posed myself on my phone earlier. And a lot of people said, well, that must have been a really long video for you to put together and all that. And I said, quite frankly, it was one of the easiest videos I ever did.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes those really long ones that are really intense ones you think are going to be forever. Sometimes I do is doing one take and slap some stuff on the beginning and end of it and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in the way you craft your video. And believe me, a lot of my videos take a lot more work than others.
Yeah, I get that. Now I know that I've been lacking on the editing side of things. I got to get better. It's just
I'm sure you have a lot of content from Florida you'd love to upload.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Welcome in, G. Wilson and Nathan Rada. Thank you guys for being here. So if we don't mind, let's go through Life with Ben a little bit.
Sure. Some
of these episodes, and let's talk about a few of them. I thought it was in the very first episode. Is that where you were trying to mount the car mount?
Yeah.
I just got one of those, so I know exactly what it's like. But watching you go from there to where you're at now is pretty incredible. Welcome in, LaToya. But I thought that was pretty neat, just showing your everyday life. I thought, oh, this is what it's going to be about, Life with Ben. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you've progressed. You went to the buying with the MacBook Pro. Then you went to your Disney Pin project, which I thought was pretty neat. I collect Disney pins. I know you guys do a lot too, and especially the display right there behind you.
Yeah, my wall of pins.
That was a really incredible the way you did that shadow box.
Yeah.
I've tried to slow it down so I can see exactly what you did. I know you took the cork board and you did something else and you covered it in black, and I was like, but there's a step I'm missing. I don't see it, but it's pretty cool.
Super easy.
And have you done that with all the pins behind you there?
Well, some of them needed some cork backing, and others, they're like these two boxes here. You can't see the top one; it's a little higher than the camera. But those ones I am the most proud of as far as my collection goes. Those are pins that represent a new attraction or event or thing that happened at Disneyland for the first 50 years the park existed. And that's
wow.
series was sold in 2005 during the 50th anniversary. And a close friend of mine at the time bought the entire collection for me as a birthday present.
Wow.
He was extremely generous, and as a complete set right now, it's probably got a nice value on it that I don't even understand.
I bet it looks, but it means it's more sentimental to you than value on monetary. Welcome in, Jack, Sandy Claus, Logan, Dole Whip Dad, and Blue Nose 352. What's up, buddy?
But the shadow boxes those pins are in were from Pottery Barn, and they were designed for that type of thing. So I didn't have to do a thing to those those shadow.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of shadow boxes come with this flimsy little foam thing that they expect you to tack things onto. It doesn't work. That's why I went through the process of reconstructing with corkboard.
Did you pull the foam out and just throw the corkboard on it, or did you leave them all together with the corkboard?
No. I took the foam off, started from scratch, and then I would glue the corkboard down onto the board, turn it over, and use a staple gun to adhere it to make sure it stayed in place. And then I would put the pins on and then case it up. That's
probably the step I was trying to figure out. I think you went like this and took something. I was like, where did it go? And then I couldn't. It was all fast. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's sped up. It's and it's time lapsed, and I missed whatever you did there. So that must have been it. So
yeah.
Welcome in, Zippity Doodad. What's up, buddy? And Julie C. Welcome in as well. So yeah, pins are obviously a big part of your life. I love pins. We'll come back to those here in just a minute.
Okay.
Then I love the one about wardrobe malfunctions where you ripped your shirt, not your shorts. you ripped your shirt in your office building, the way you told the story about your office building out to get you. That was pretty funny. And for all of you that haven't seen these, make sure you go see all these. They're pretty cool. Just all the good stuff from the car covers, the Mrs. Knott's from Knott's Berry Farms, which I didn't even know was out there. It's pretty cool. The fireworks. Then I'm just going to only touch on a few of these a little more in depth. If you want to talk about any of them, just speak up. But then you went to the Lucasfilm screening of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And you started showing all that Star Wars stuff. And I saw a silver R2-D2, and I think I saw the robot from Rogue One in there, like a full life-size picture. But what was that experience like?
Well, a good friend of mine, I did some temp work at university last year when I was between jobs, and I got chummy with this guy who was working on video work specifically geared towards the website for this university. Well, it turns out he has a lot to do with video effects and is one of the board members of a video effects conglomerate here in the Bay Area. And he at one time actually worked for Lucasfilm. So he's very familiar with a lot of the stuff that goes on and knows a lot of people at Lucasfilm, which is why he was able to reserve the screening room at the Lucasfilm campus at the Presidio in San Francisco for a screening of Spider-Man Far From Home. I had not seen Spider-Man Far From Home, but at this point, I hadn't even seen Endgame. So I rushed out the day before, saw Endgame, and then I got to see Far From Home. And both were 2 back-to-back days of Marvel films, and it just didn't get any better. But the experience at the Lucasfilm Theater, oh my gosh, you can't imagine a better setting for a movie. It's amazing.
You looked pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie, you looked really excited.
Yeah, I was pumped.
I I gotta welcome in real quick. Marianne Hermosa, Mike 88 NYC, G Wilson, Nate Thoreda, Melissa Gover, Disney World Freak, Cody Hankins, Jenna from Resort TV One. Thank you guys for being here, and of course, Pepper Tree Villa.
She imagines Arnie's watching. Hi, Arnie. I'm on TV.
That reminded me, and Walt, of course, from Mouse Talk as well. That reminded me of Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory. The one kid, the cowboy kid, I think it was.
Mike TV.
Yeah, Mike TV, exactly. Okay, and then after the Lucas filming, you've done a couple videos on holiday ornaments, which are absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
You've shown you found a Joy and Bing Bong one riding in the wagon, which I thought was insanely incredible.
Yeah.
And then you had the flash from sitting behind his desk there. I mean, you come up with some of the greatest ornaments I think I've ever seen.
All you have to do is go down to Hallmark and get them yourself.
I don't even know where Hallmark is here. So, but my favorite one that you showed, I think it was in the later video. Well, first off, you showed Ducky and Bunny, and you are correct. They are backwards for sure. But my favorite one was the 10th anniversary of Up, and it has the balloons in the house. And you said it played sound, but you hadn't ever played it before, so you didn't know what it was yet. But that's my favorite one of all of them. But obviously, besides the whole Christmas tree village you guys have, what got you interested in what kind of ornaments do you like?
I focus on 3 genres of trees in my personal collection. And then there's an offshoot as well, but we'll get to that. First of all, in my room, I live in a house that was built in 1936 before codes came into play. Mm-hmm. So the ceiling in my house right here, in my room here, is less than 7 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
So someone of your stature would probably feel very claustrophobic in this room.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm 5'5", so I fit fine in this place. I'm like a hobbit. So I put a tree in the corner right over here, just across the room from me. It's a pretty sizable room, but it's a 6.5-foot balsam hill tree. And I say balsam hill because balsam hill creates these high-end Christmas trees that if you are doing Christmas trees and are serious about it and you want to have a high quality product, you're going to turn to balsam hill because they stand behind their product. They are really good trees. They may be a little pricey, but over the course of time, you're saving money because you're buying a quality product. Mm-hmm. This tree that I have in my room is specifically just for park-related ornaments or Disney-related ornaments that I have got at the park, the store, or any type of Disney events like the ice shows that they do, or any parades that I might go to that are Disney-related. Anything that is a theme park ornament is on that tree. Then I have a tree that is the same size, only it sits in the corner of my dining room. It is Hallmark ornaments, but every ornament on there is a Disney-related Hallmark ornament. So that's a second tree. My third tree, when I get a chance to put it up, which I haven't for about 2 or 3 years, is nothing but all my other Hallmark ornaments, because Hallmark does produce over 250 ornaments, unique ornaments every year, and they only release them for that year. So when you talk about people that have collections from Hallmark, it's probably meaning that they have been following a series that has been developed year over year over year. I currently have one collection that they released their 40th edition this year.
Wow.
And because of some help from my sister and a little bit of an extra fund that I got this year, I was able to acquire the first 4 ornaments in that collection. So my collection now of that series is complete.
Oh, that's awesome. And was that the 4-pack? I think you had a 4-pack. They were in a box or something.
They were bought individually over eBay.
Oh, that's not one I saw. I remember you showing a 4-pack set in the latest video.
Oh, I know what you mean. That's actually an individual box that is the size of just an ornament, but it's got like 3 ornaments lined up in it that look like they're vintage ornaments that you would pull out of the box to hang separately. Yeah.
The box is an ornament itself?
The box itself is an ornament.
Oh,
and
wow.
And the things inside do not come out. They are part of the ornament.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How many ornaments do you say Hallmark makes every year?
They produce over 250 each year.
Jeez, and then they're gone after that year.
Yep.
That's crazy. How many? I know you said in one of the episodes you didn't know, but how many ornaments roughly do you assume you have?
Somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 ornaments.
Wow, that's a lot of ornaments.
It is a lot of ornaments, but it's nothing compared to what we do at Arnie's house.
Yeah, we'll get into that on a different show. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's pretty.
We're planning a show and tell episode that we would love to have you participate in. So
all you gotta do is ask. I'll definitely be there. So. And Kay wants to know, and I know he does one because I saw it. Do you have the Frosty Friends ornaments?
Yes, that is the collection I was referring to.
Oh, nice. I saw you on the latest video. I saw you got one. The first one you showed, I think, was a Frosty Friends ornament. So
yeah,
I remember seeing that. And then I missed somebody. Oh, welcome in, Suki Smackhouse. Thank you for being here. So yeah, the ornaments are crazy. I think they're great. I love the board game ornaments. The one you put in there.
Really cool.
The Barrel of Monkeys I saw you had. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I just couldn't believe they were there.
Hungry Hippos ornament is really funny too.
I didn't see that one. I heard you mention that. That was the last one you got, I think, but before the Connect 4. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Then going on to pasture ornaments, you did you seem to have some pretty rough luck setting up not setting up Google Wi-Fi. Orbi or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. I think it was called Orbi.
Or yeah, it was that was a pretty funny episode. I felt your pain. Let's just say that. So, welcome in, Cindy Smith. Thank you for being here.
Try and make those things where you set up a home environment super easy and dummy proof. But believe me, there are loopholes, and you can find them in it.
And I've set up mesh networks before as well, and I couldn't believe that. I've always changed the name first. But when during that, and I couldn't believe that kept you from doing it. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Then we get to what is probably my favorite episode, absolute favorite episode of Life with Ben, and that's how to cook mac and cheese. So, I had this glorious picture in my head when I clicked on the episode that he's going to open up a box because I know you don't like to cook. You've mentioned it numerous times. I'm going to watch Ben open up a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese, dump it into a pocket, and see. There's got to be something going on here. And that wasn't the case at all. You actually made from scratch homemade mac and cheese was it your niece, I believe?
Yeah, Megan, my niece. So, you'll find Megan watching a stream of Pepper Tree Villa from time to time on Mondays when she's free.
Nice. I think I've seen her in chat before. Yeah. But seeing her on the camera and being able to relate that to your guys' stories was pretty cool. But you went through everything she's very knowledgeable about the culinary world. She had you making a roux to start off with.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce the second word it turned into. But basically, you did the butter, you did the flour, you mixed in the milk, I think it was, and you mixed in all the grated cheese after you grated your own cheese.
Yeah.
When you tried to put the salad spitter or whatever it was back together, I was laughing really hard. Because that's the kind of thing that would probably happen to me. But
yeah, I am definitely challenged in the kitchen.
But you did really well, man. I was impressed. What was it like to do that?
Well, Megan tries to encourage me to cook at least 2 or 3 times a year because she knows that I'm kitchen phobic. I've actually burnt and ruined a crock pot. And
I heard you say that.
You just don't do that. Mike Wheeler is saying fold in the cheese. That's
you mentioned it. She even turned to you once and said, if you say fold in the cheese one more time.
That comes from an episode of a TV show that we're all familiar with. So I'm really challenged in the kitchen. So Megan does get me into the kitchen to cook from time to time. And she says I'm a really good sous chef. But when it comes to the actual cooking, I let her do that. I can do any type of prep work. If I'm told to shuck corn or open a can of beans or whatever just to dump in for a vegetarian chili, I'm all over that. But if I had to rely on myself to cook and make a meal for myself on a daily basis, I'd probably wither away to nothing. I'm terrible in the kitchen.
Welcome in, Edward Cunningham. See, I'm quite the opposite. I love to cook, from everything from grilling to cooking large savory meals to baking and everything. It's just, I knew I liked to eat, and I had to learn to cook if I wanted to eat that way because I live by myself. So just had to be that way. But no, I thought that was I laughed and laughed and laughed, and you seem like you're having so much fun at the same time, like a little anxious about it.
Oh, yeah.
But it looked like it turned out fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And then I saw an episode with you did a food review of Spin Pizza.
Oh, yeah, Spin.
The pizza looked really good, but I'll tell you what, that gelato that was in there. I think you had the blackberry cheesecake. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think it was blackberry cheesecake or boysenberry cheesecake. It's one or the other.
It was, the pizza looked really good. The fries looked really good. I think you got fries with it. Is that correct?
With it? It was salad with the pizza, and then you get the gelato afterwards if you're hungry enough to get some dessert.
Yep. And the gelato, I'll tell you what, I'll be making room for that gelato because that looked really good. It
was fantastic. And was is definitely an operative word because the week after I posted that review, Spin closed.
Oh, no, really?
I'm so upset about that. Megan was having to break the news to her 6-year-old, and he cried for 15 minutes. It was one of his favorite places to go. You ask a 6-year-old what they're going to have for pizza on their pizza, and they will always either see cheese or they'll say pepperoni. Not my great nephew. He wants chicken pesto.
Oh, really?
He is a foodie like I am not. I'm a basics person. Give me a margarita pizza, give me a pepperoni pizza, and I'm fat and sassy.
Yep.
And no, not Alex.
I'm a very picky eater, but I do like a lot of different things. I'm just I like to keep them separated and not touching each other and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah, I think you and I would get along just fine walking through a park and going, yeah, we'll eat here, but we have to have this here and this over here, and we don't want it touching.
Yep, absolutely. Welcome in, Disney dude. Thank you for being here, buddy. And then you went to the San Francisco Premium Outlets, and we actually have a Premium Outlets here. It's not near as big of a town as San Francisco is, but it's a small town down south, and they're called something Premium Outlets. Yeah. And it looked almost identical to what you had there.
Sure.
It was pretty crazy. And then of course I loved how I love when you show the things that don't quite go right and you had to park all the way on the other side of the building.
Yeah.
That looked like fun. And then you did your Eating at Disney parts 1 and part 2. I thought that was really well. You guys showed some of the food. Yeah. And then you did your My Time at Disney. I think on your My Time at Disneyland, you came in with the fireworks aerial view from the fireworks of the plane.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That looked really intense.
My flight hadn't been delayed, which is, you know what? I was sad that my flight was delayed, but happy that I was able to capture that moment.
Yeah, no doubt. It looked, if you guys haven't seen it, go back and check it out because it was really cool. And it came in really clear too. You zoomed in and I was like, wow, those are pretty incredible fireworks, good pictures and everything. It was nice. And we'll come back to Disneyland here in just a second.
Okay.
Of course, In-N-Out Burger, which I don't have. And I'm so jealous. The translucent paper on the burger looked really good too. But man, that looks so good. I really want to. When I get out there, we got to go to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, absolutely. That it's on me.
Oh, awesome, man! Thank you. And then of course the pie for a guy that not a foodie. You got a lot of food reviews and food places in here, but I'm glad you do because those are pretty cool places.
Yeah.
And the pie hole looks it's just pies, savory and sweet. And it looks really good.
It's really delicious. I went to one in Glendale a couple of years ago with my sister, and we just happened to be in downtown Orange at the end of September and drove by and saw that there. And we went, yep, we got to go there.
Well, then you also got the other ornament hall, and then the Nation's Hamburgers one, and then of course the Ben interviews Ben, which I thought was incredible. I just enjoyed it so much. I thought it was pretty cool. But then, yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out Life with Ben, please go check it out. It's really good, especially the mac and cheese episode. Man, I don't know why I like that episode so much, but it made my day when I watched that episode. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to gravitate towards, and you never know what's going to catch on.
So what do you got planned for the future for Life with Ben?
I'm going to be starting to set up my Christmas tree in my bedroom this week, so we might see a hint of that during an episode of Life with Ben coming up. I've got several different things that I want to go around the Bay Area and show what we do. I want to go through San Francisco and show some of the things like Fisherman's Wharf, Golden Gate Bridge, and there's a lot to do tourist-wise over there. And if I went over there with my camera, I would just look like someone who was from Michigan coming out here. And what would really set it up is if I did that over in June and I had like a t-shirt and shorts on and went over to San Francisco, it's like 56 degrees. It's like
I did that once when I'm from Indiana. I went up to Michigan to Chicago, or sorry, not Michigan, Illinois, Chicago. We went up there and it was 80 degrees here. So we didn't think anything of it. We walked up there and took nothing but shorts and t-shirts. We went to the pier to play putt-putt, and it was cold. It was really with the wind coming off the lake. And the guy looked at us and goes, "You guys aren't from around here, are you?" I said, "No, sir." we played putt-putt in the coldest weather I've ever played in. So, it was fun. And you mentioned the Fisherman's Wharf or something. I saw in your Disneyland vlog that you ate at a Pacific Wharf Cafe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Was that kind of the same thing as coming from the fishermen? Or
Pacific Wharf Cafe is kind of a nod to the Monterey area in California, and it features Boudin sour bread, which is actually from San Francisco. And if anyone in the stream has ever had Boudin, it's Boudin. It is hands down the best sourdough bread you've ever had. You can eat it anywhere. You can eat any type of sourdough anywhere, and it does not hold a candle to Boudin sourdough. It actually has its own starter that is trademarked and copyrighted, and no one else can use it. And it has a distinct flavor. And they bake it up here and they bake it in Southern California. And there's actually a slight difference to the taste between places because the starter reacts with the environment that it's in.
Oh, wow. That's, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not something I would think of, but.
Just another random fact presented by Bentanica.
I was going to bring that up too. So in one of your episodes, you said that you got your nickname, and that was your interview with Ben. I was getting ready to go through the list here. That you have one of those minds that retains useless facts. I am in the exact same way.
Yeah.
You said one of your favorite board games is Trivial Pursuit. I have like 6 different versions in my closet in there. Nobody plays with me either. I get where you're coming from. And of course, Monopoly and Categories. I got all those games. I have a game closet that's just a standard walk-in or standard closet, like in the as soon as you'd walk into the door for coats. Mm-hmm. It's full top to bottom, as tight as it could possibly be with games. I love playing board games.
Oh my gosh, we should get together sometime and just have a game night
for sure.
I would actually really a fun video if we were going to stream someone playing. We could have one person asking all the questions for Trivial Pursuit, and then we could have someone controlling the board, and then have 4 players doing. Oh my gosh! I think
I'm definitely in because I was going to play Categories with you tonight, but I forgot to get it out, and I don't want to run and try to find it now. So I was going to pull one card out, say your letter was B, and let you list them. I know you said you like to play Categories as well, so but that's awesome that you love board games. It's a good way to have fun, a good way to de-stress that. And I've been playing board games, but since I'm by myself, I do puzzles now. So going over the list from Ben interviewed Ben.
Yeah.
You asked yourself what your favorite Disney movie was, and I'll let you go ahead and answer that again.
Of the Walt era and all that, I said it was Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
Then in between, I thought maybe not Mary Poppins because it was still while Walt was alive, but it was close enough to when he passed that it could qualify for in between, because that was really his penultimate production. And it won several Academy Awards, and it only lost to My Fair Lady in the Best Picture category, and it really should have won Best Picture because My Fair Lady stinks. It's a terrible
Mary
show.
Poppins is far superior.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it has stood the test of time.
Yep.
And Beauty and the Beast is my present day kind of favorite film from the Disney archive.
Yeah, and that is a Beauty and the Beast is incredible. I haven't found a Disney movie I don't like. I mean, I like some more than others.
There are a couple that I've thought have stunk.
Really?
Yeah.
What are your least favorite movies for one or two of them?
Home on the Range.
You didn't like Home on the Range? Okay, it's on the lower end of my likability.
It's a terrible film.
I would agree.
It's just when I'm doing a marathon of all the Disney animated films, and I'll start with Snow White and run all through. The films that were produced in the 40s, particularly in the early 40s, are kind of difficult to get through because they don't have a central focus or a plot and just a couple of characters. It's just like a mishmash of things. But as you come out of there, the first one, I equate the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad came just before the new renaissance of Disney animation in the 50s happened. And that happened. The same thing happened at the beginning or the late 80s, where in 87 or 88, when the release of Oliver and Company happened, and that was a cute film, but it came right into The Little Mermaid, which was then another ushering in of a golden age of animation. So anything before Oliver and Company, between in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, whatever, they were floundering. Not to say that all films that came out of that era were bad, because they weren't, but they had lost focus and direction. And I think they were just going through the motion and trying to find a new leader. And it didn't happen until we got Michael Eisner taking over and saying, hey, we need someone to run this division. Jeffrey Katzenberg, it's yours. Mm-hmm. And they brought it back to what it was back in the 50s with Walt at the helm.
Yeah, and a lot of people were displeased with Michael Eisner, but he did a lot of good things for Disney. He put Disney back on the map.
You know, the first 10 years of Michael Eisner's reign saw unprecedented growth and creativity for the company. But when Frank Wells passed away in a tragic helicopter accident and Jeffrey Katzenberg walked away from the company in 1994, that's when it all stopped being as good for Michael Eisner as it was. From then on, he became a king of the company, and everyone had to do what he was, and he was a micromanager. So he had to have his hand in everything. He didn't let his creative people do their job. He thought that he was the most creative person. When Desperate Housewives and Lost were introduced by the network people, he wanted to pass on them. They had to really, really fight for those two shows. And they wound up being the two big hits of ABC that season, much to Michael Eisner's decision of wanting to squash them.
Yeah, I love Lost. It's one of my favorite all-time shows. So, but the one good thing Eisner did, though, as he was on his way out, and a lot of people don't understand this, they just remember him for like you said, kind of becoming a dictatorship, wanting to, it's my way or the highway type thing.
Yeah.
But Michael Eisner stopped Comcast from doing a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. And they even said, Comcast came in and said, we're going to do a hostile takeover. We will be getting rid of the characters. They said we wouldn't have Mickey Mouse. They were going to keep the theme park, retheme it. They were going to get rid of the characters, retheme the rides, and it would have been the end of Disney World and Disneyland as we know it.
Oh yeah.
And Michael put a stop to it.
They would have failed.
Yeah, for sure.
The reason the parks are as successful as they are is because people for generations know that is where you go to visit Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Hands down. When Epcot opened in 1982, the Disney company didn't have Disney characters in it. And that was the biggest complaint. They said, where are the Disney characters? We want Disney characters.
Yep.
So they were introduced a few months into the game.
Welcome in. I'm Pretty and Preston McDevitt. Thank you guys for being here. But yeah, people don't understand if that Michael Eisner, there were other forces at nature going on as well, but don't get me wrong, but Michael was the reason for everything the way it happened going down.
Yeah.
And without him stepping in and stopping the hostile takeover, we would not have Disney as we know it. So
Exactly.
welcome in Jonathan Bedlion too. Okay, well, real quick, sorry, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh my gosh, right.
Want to just briefly touch on, you're obviously a sports fan. You love the Oakland Athletics.
I do.
I'm sharing the same pain you are right now because my guys aren't playing.
I didn't expect them. I knew that they would do a decent showing. I didn't expect them to go all the way. They're still in building mode, and they need pitching, and they showed some glimmer of having pitching right at the end with a couple of newbies that are coming up, and it's going to be a much stronger rotation come spring training. Yep. So I'm already looking forward to spring training. World Series isn't even over.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to spring training as well. So I cannot. Yeah, my guys lost and should never have lost. I'm still bitter about it, but I think they'd be in the same exact spot the Nationals are right now had it gone a different way. So, but that's neither here nor there. So how long you been a sports fan? Is there a specific moment that made you a sports fan, or just?
I liked baseball as a kid, but in 1994, when they had the baseball strike and the players walked away from everything, I lost interest in the game for about 15, 16 years. And it wasn't until like 2009, 2010 that I started to come back around to baseball. I'm not that big into football or basketball or hockey. Baseball is my game.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that by any means. I can sit and watch baseball all day long.
Yeah,
but I can also watch. I can pretty much watch any sport. But one thing I can't do, I cannot watch the NBA. It drives me nuts to see everything they get away with. Then complain, and then, oh no, I make $10 million to sit the bench. I don't get it. So it's neither here nor there. But okay, real quick, I want to touch a little bit on, because we're running out of time. I apologize. Couple more things here. First off, Christmas at the Villas. You were going to touch briefly on how that works and your role in it as well.
Yeah, 20 years ago, we had about 10 trees in my house because my father passed away in 1989. And in order to make ends meet, Arnie and I were still in college. So to make ends meet, my sister and brother-in-law moved in with us to help us keep the house going. Well, that meant that we had two families coming together as one. And you could say we were like the Brady Bunch, the original, or the second generation Brady Bunch. But we had lots of Christmas decorations that came together, and we thought, let's see what we can do creative wise to display everything that we can. So we had a tree here, a tree there, and it wound up being 10 trees altogether. Arnie took that to heart and let it germinate in his head. And when he bought his own home 11 years ago, he went, I want a tree in every room in the house. The first year, he and Doug were doing some massive remodeling of this house that they bought. And it took 100 days from the time they picked up the keys to Valentine's Day to turn the house from a foreclosed dump to a house that could be used as a model home. It's gorgeous. They changed every surface in the house. They changed all the flooring, painted all the walls and ceilings, changed out all the light fixtures, changed all the doors, and it's a beautiful home. But in honor of that, we also make sure that everything that goes into the house complements each other. So when we started to brainstorm about how we could set up the house for Christmas, we started to theme different trees and put them in different areas that we felt would be the most beneficial for that particular area of the house. And it just turned out that 10 trees grew into 12, then grew into 15, 17. We're at 26 this year.
That is insane. Is
Yeah.
that a new record for you guys, or did you have 26 last year?
We had 25 last year.
No, you just keep adding. That's crazy. And I love how each one of them is themed too.
Yeah, there are varying sizes, and you're going to be anyone that follows us on YouTube will be able to see every single tree this year because we're going to be talking about them. We'll probably have different Vlogmas episodes based around the trees. So it's coming, but awesome. We're still in prep work right now. We're almost done putting together the showpiece, which is the Disney tree, which has 1,000 ornaments, 1,700 lights, and the tree is boosted up in the air, so it seems even taller than it actually is, and it rotates.
You say it has 1,000 ornaments?
Yeah,
that is insane. Cannot wait to see that. Real quick, sorry again, we're running out of time, so I'm trying to rapid fire these things. You were telling me off stream something that's I was unaware of because I'm oblivious to the world of what's going on around me right now. You said you have to wear something special because you guys are dealing with the California wildfires again.
Yeah, this morning when I went to work, the air quality index, which around our area is usually at about 20 or 30 based on smog levels or whatever. It all has to do with the particulates that are in the air. Up to 50 is okay. Moderate is like 50 to 100. Anything over 100, you really want to start protecting yourself from any type of damage that could be taken by breathing in bad air. Our air quality index this morning was at 152.
Whoa.
Because all the smoke that's coming from the wildfires just north of us. Winds were shifting everything down south towards the bay. And I had to walk around for the first half of the day with this on. It's an N95 mask.
Wow.
And my office distributed these to all of the employees. And I've got an office that has an outdoor staircase. So if I wanted to go from the second to the third floor, I'd have to make sure that this was on. Otherwise, I was fine inside. We've got filtered air, but no, it was pretty bad. You can hear even my voice has been affected a little bit. I'm a little bit raspy now. That may be because I've been shooting my mouth off for the last hour or so, but it could also come from the fact that we do have some smoke in the air and it is affecting me.
That's crazy. And everybody's basically telling you to stay safe and send prayers your way too, because that's insane that you guys have to deal with that. It seems like every year there's a massive California. We call them the California wildfires.
Yeah,
it's crazy what they always happen.
California has 5 seasons now. We have winter, spring, summer, fire, and fall.
That's not funny, but that's kind of
it pretty much is what it is though, because this is the 3rd year where we have had out of control wildfires.
Yep.
That's 3rd year in a row. Last year it was so bad we had to wear these masks for like 3 weeks because the smoke was so dense.
So are you within range that it could be that you're in danger at all from the actual fire?
It depends. Almost 30 years ago, we had a firestorm in the Oakland Hills that wiped out 3,000 structures.
Wow.
And that was 2 years after the Loma Prieta quake. So we're not unfamiliar with natural disasters in our area. Fortunately, the wildfires in our case have been more in the north part of the Bay region. So Napa County, Sonoma County, Clear Lake area, everything north of us has been torched for the last 3 years. And then 2 years ago, there were the wildfires in Santa Barbara. This year, like just last night, another wildfire started in Los Angeles that had several thousand structures that are threatened by the fast-moving wildfires.
It's crazy how they start up every year and then they spread that fast every year.
Well, coupled with the wildfires, we've had massive power outages because PG&E, our utility, has been shutting down areas that are prone to high winds and wires that come down to start those fires.
Wow, that's insane.
So there are people just blocks away from me that have been without power for the last 48 hours.
And I can't even fathom that. That's crazy. And I've been to Northern California. I had a former girlfriend that used to go to school up there, and I'd fly out there all the time to see her, which I've not gone very deep in it. It was just like right across the border.
Yeah.
But I would love to visit. I'm going to visit California, which leads me into kind of what I'm going to go real quick before we have to get off here. Disneyland.
Yeah.
You guys have been going forever. You guys know so much about it.
Yeah.
I'm coming next year. What is your advice for anybody coming to Disneyland? How many days should they plan on a normal trip? And I'm not talking about just so you can do everything one time, but so you can really experience Disneyland. And then what are some of the surrounding area things that you would suggest as well?
Well, unlike Florida, that is an entire resort with 4 theme parks and dozens of hotels, Disneyland is very compact. I would say a good 3 days, if you want to just focus on Disneyland, is more than enough. That'll allow you enough time to go through Disneyland, California Adventure, back to Disneyland, and then see a little bit of downtown Disney as well, and a couple of the hotels, and you're fine. It's all right there. It's all within walking distance. But other things that you want to take into consideration would be Knott's Berry Farm, which is only 10 minutes north of Disneyland. They've got the best chicken dinner restaurant ever.
Yeah, I saw your. There's a Life with Ben episode on it. Go check it out, guys.
Yeah.
Real quick, Shep family, thank you, buddy. Sent us a super chat for $4.99. Says, "Great job tonight, brother. Thank you, Ben, for being such a great guest." And yes, Ben, thank you so much for being a great guest.
Thank you.
But yeah, Disneyland, man, I can't wait. Sorry, we're running low on time, and unfortunately, D&G Explorers, welcome in, guys, and Samantha Lowe, and I missed somebody else too. I know. I had it in my mind to tell you, Stacy Rogers and Marshmallow Man. Welcome in, guys. So I can't wait to get out to Disneyland next year. Obviously, I've already told you guys, look to hook up and have some fun. Kenneth, Kentucky fan, welcome in. Thank you very much for being here. Cannot wait to get out there, experience Disneyland. I'm going to probably stay more than 3 days just because I don't know when the next time I'll be there is. Plus there's so much surrounding that I want to do as well, and get to hang out with you guys for a couple days too.
Well, if you can arrange it, just let me know. I've driven the LA freeways more than you know. And you definitely want someone that knows what they're doing and where they're going in order to take you around. So we can arrange that.
Absolutely, buddy. I'll definitely hit you up. Ben, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I didn't even get into half of what we really want to talk about. We'll probably have to have you on again sometime, but I really appreciate you taking the time, answering questions, letting everybody get to know you a little bit better. So thank you very much.
Sure.
Real quick, guys. Again, Live Place, www.theliveplace.com. Dreamers Empire and Live Place on YouTube is where you're going to find all your family-friendly live stream content. Check out my partner channels, Mouse Talk. Sorry, I'm going into it again. Mouse Talk goes live every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 o'clock. Saturdays with Sports Night with me at 8 o'clock. And Rob goes live on Fridays with either Frankie Friday or Pub Talk at 4 or 4:30, depending on the show. Please go check them out. My power channels, my brothers, the Disney This and That crew, the Shep family, Zippity Doodad, and Brandy and Dave, and my other power channel, DizneyDan, goes live on Saturdays with Disney Fiasco at 7 o'clock. Guys, everybody, Pepper Tree Villa goes live at 10 o'clock tonight. Everybody, please go check out them. Ben joins Arnie and Doug on Pepper Tree Villa. And everybody, please go check out, in 1 minute, check out Meg at Mickey's Magic. For those of you that haven't found out, I will be joining Meg, and we will be doing a tutorial video. So please definitely come check out Meg right after this. Ben, once again, thank you so much for being here, buddy. I really appreciate it. And thank you all to the chat for being here as well.
Sure.
Any last word, Ben?
Let's hope your makeup is better than your own ballerina makeup. Oh, dear.
Not gonna be. It's gonna be the same because I'm trying to do everything to this camera and everything's backwards. So again, once again, Ben, thank you so much. Chat, thank you guys so much. Everybody, please head on over to Meg next, and then turn around and head over to Pepper Tree Villa at 10 o'clock, where you can catch Arnie, Doug, and Ben for another great episode from Pepper Tree Villa. So,
great.
Ben, thank you very much. Chat, thank you guys. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Thanks for having.